And welcome to another episode of More Than Dice. I'm Kathy.
I'm Gonzo.
Uh
It's
oh.
fine. You don't have to wait for me to get back.
Oh, we didn't. We already started.
Wow.
It's fine. You don't have to wait for me and John to get back. Just drive that car by yourself.
Oh, fuck, not gonna pee.
There we go. That's how we start our podcast off.
All
Right.
right.
With John going to
All
go pee.
right.
Oh, welcome to
So yeah,
episode.
I
What episode are we on, Kathy?
166.
166.
I did not party on Tuesday. Why would I party on Tuesday? However, I did get to play surprise D&D Friday night.
Oh. Oh, so
And that's
somebody
the
asked me
best.
why.
Like, what?
Why you didn't show up. And I says, I don't know.
What? Saturday?
No, whichever day that you
It was
you didn't
Wednesday
stream.
that I didn't show up.
No.
It was Wednesday I didn't show up, and yeah. So so Friday was surprise D&D. After my stream, I got a message from somebody saying, "Hey, I'm gonna run a little one shot tonight. You want to play?" We're starting in like 2 hours. Like, oh, okay. It was pre-gen characters. This is what you do when you spring surprise D&D on somebody.
I'm back.
You have pre-generated characters, so you don't have to spend an hour or 2 hours discussing what characters you want to play and screwing around with that. You just can jump right into it. I had no idea what this character was about. It was some rogue. He was like, I have 2 different rogues to choose from. I have a super sneaky one and a punching kind of one. So I went eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch a tiger by the toe. If he hollers, let him go. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. And my mom told me to pick this rogue. So I ended up with the punchy one. Because that's how I make decisions in life. and so yeah, so played Friday night, and it was super fun, and I stayed up later than I normally do, and I slept in until almost 8 o'clock. It was
Almost
glorious.
clock.
Glorious. And then Saturday was Shadowrun, and Shadowrun was super fun, and we ran into ninja robots.
Oh, you mean like from RoboCop 3?
No, more like from like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle kind of thing. It was a very cartoony sort of thing.
Oh, so was RoboCop 3.
It was super cheesy, super fun.
Yeah, so RoboCop 3.
I don't remember anything about RoboCop 3, so
That's probably for the best.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm comfortable with that. With that.
You know who else wish you didn't remember anything about RoboCop 3? Frank Miller. Because they fucked him again. Poor Frank. I don't want to say poor Frank Miller, but because he's a crazy, crazy dude. But man, they love to shit on his scripts. That's crazy. Anyways, I'm John.
I'm Kathy.
And I'm Gonzo. Welcome to episode 166. Today we're going to talk about painting Battletech, Battletech miniatures. And I'm going to be
You
painting
don't
the
know anything
Madcat.
about painting Battletech miniatures. This will be the first time that Gonzo has painted a Battletech miniature.
And we'll be going over that, so we'll be talking about that. John's going to give us a little bit of elaboration on the miniatures because he knows everything Battletech. He is the Battletech guru of all time.
It's a true fact.
That's a false.
Well, I'm not even. I don't even.
Him and my friend Mark. Who has like, I stayed at their house during Gamehole Con, and he's got like an entire room full of books, full of like novels and RPG stuff and like everything Battletech.
Oh, yeah. The Battletech books back in the day were a thing of beauty because they were, I would say like Games Workshop style, 90% fluff and 10% rules.
Yep.
Some of them were like 99% fluff and like, oh, here's a couple rules. You know, back in the day when you could do that. Nowadays, people don't like that. I don't know why. Anyways.
But I don't even know what color. I think I'm going to get with John when we get to do this, and I think I know what color I want to
He
try.
doesn't want to do the purple plaid color scheme that John sent me for that Mech Warrior Online thing, which was amazing.
It was cool, but I'm not painting plaid.
Was it as good as the Angry Faces?
I liked the angry faces, I have to say. You could do both, though.
You have to have the right canvas for the Angry Faces. I just saw that mech and I'm like, hey, I could put something there.
He's
I'm
just
like,
crying out for angry
faces.
Let's go ahead and get all of our business out of the way real quick so we can get to the drinking and talk to about our other stuff. We want to thank Metalhead Minis, of course, for sponsoring us, providing a place for us to sell our products. You should see a thing come by every once in a while where you can buy dice, widgets, and other things that we sell. We want to thank Tectonic Craft Studios for providing us stuff to give away, which we'll be doing some shortly in the year. And go check him out because he's also streaming. Someone give him a shout out on Twitch. I would appreciate it in the chat. We want to thank Muse on Minis for hosting all of our files and give us a place where everybody can listen to us. If you don't know them, they also, anything you buy from them, if you type in More Than Dice, all one word, in the discount code, you'll get a percentage off of your order. I think that's it. Did I get everybody? Yay. Yeah, Creature Caster. We are a creature creator. You'll see us paint some of those from time to time. So be on the lookout for that. Yay, the business is done. We have some tributes this week, don't we, John?
We do. You should speak to the first one because I don't know who that person is. The second one, I mean, obviously I do.
Hold on, let me see which one.
So Paul Ritter from Chernobyl and Harry Potter, who I don't really know. I don't remember from Harry Potter. I haven't seen all of the movies. Go ahead, judge me now. It's okay. But passed at 54, and apparently it was a brain tumor.
Yeah, she. What I really remember her from.
It's a
No,
dude.
we're talking about something else. Sorry.
Yeah. She actually, I forgot about her for a second. My apologies. She's on the list as well.
Yes.
But yes, so yeah, I don't know Paul, but I mean, it's what it is, right? It's tragic that someone dies from a brain tumor that young. I mean, as I'm getting close to that age myself, you start to think mortality. It looks like he's in quite a few movies and all. It's unfortunate. And then what was her name? Damian Lewis's wife, who was in Peaky Blinders.
Helen McCroy.
Yes, she passed as well.
McCroy.
Was cancer, right?
Yes, she passed away from cancer. She's 52.
Cancer.
And lately she's been known, of course, for the Peaky Blinders and everything, but she also was in Harry Potter, Draco's mom, as Captain Mizzy says. I remember her most from Peaky Blinders because that's where I saw her more than anything. And I really liked her. She was a badass bitch in that show. It'll be interesting how they put her in and what's going to happen in the series. Because I know that they've got another season coming up, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. I'm sure they'll do a tribute episode or something to whatever to make her a passing part of the show type thing. Because she was a badass bitch. She kicked a lot of shit in that. So, and then
Felix Silla, who played, oh my god, a ton of things. Cousin It. Tweaky from Buck Rogers, just absolutely a metric shit ton of things. He's been around for a while.
You probably wouldn't even recognize his face more than anything. You'd recognize his character.
Almost always in costume.
Yeah.
He was.
And that's Cousin It from the original Addams Family, right?
Yes. He was in Spaceballs, Star Wars, Return of the Jedi, The Golden Child, did stunts in Poltergeist. Just filmography is pretty huge. Not a lot recently. I mean, obviously he was a bit old, but just so many things.
A long and storied career of
Yeah, it was even Battlestar Galactica played
playing
Lucifer.
all these crazy
Yeah.
monsters, aliens,
Yeah. So.
critters.
Another sad one. Lived a long life, but still, it's always sad to see someone pass. And we're gonna see a lot more of those, as the actors we grew up with get to that age, unfortunately. So.
John, what are you drinking today?
I have Dr. Pepper and whichever fire I have, Jim Beam Fire. Trying to finish the bottle so I can go get the Jack Daniels one. I think it's a better call.
Okay. Kathy, what's on your drink of choice today?
Rum and Coke.
Back to the rum. I am still doing some Taylor Flygate 20-year Tawny Port. So that's
bougie up there.
I'm gonna keep on drinking until it's gone. So that's gonna be on the docket for a bit.
Like you do.
That's what happens, yeah.
Well, I opened it, gotta drink it. Guys, please be safe out there. Wear your mask. Wash your hands. Look out for each other.
Get your vaccine.
Get your vaccine. I'm fully vaccinated. Yay. Everything else, be safe. Really, look out for each other. Cheers.
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 Oh, damn.
Oh, Kathy, I had a Kraken and club soda tonic. Sorry, Kraken and tonic earlier. It was pretty good.
Yeah?
It was also really strong.
It's like a half a cup of Kraken and a quarter cup of tonic.
No, it's 6.8 ounces of tonic water because that's just in the bottle, and then about 3.5, maybe a heavy pour over 3.5 of Kraken.
Maybe a heavy pour. Maybe.
Maybe a heavy pour.
There's a tiny bit of spill. It's just hard to tell.
Yeah.
Yeah, you go. It's like, oh, put a little bit. Let's throw a little more in. And a little splash of lime juice too, just to mix it up. I don't know if the lime juice is necessary. Kind of tasted a bit extra lime. I was gonna say lime.
Lime is strong. Lime is strong.
It is. Never ever open your bottle of lime and go, "Hey, how's this roll? Oh, Jesus!"
No.
You only make that mistake
Proper way
3
to
times.
sniff anything is wafting it, and I learned that as a child when my mom was cleaning the bathroom with ammonia.
Ooh, yeah.
Science.
I didn't have to blow some money, I could tell, but yeah.
She taught me that being a chemist, she was like, "Here's what you do. You'd never ever
you don't just do
stick
this.
your nose in a bottle and inhale ever. You waft it towards you. You want to smell something. Hey, Misco Blood. How's Misco? Misco turned me on to a new game, a fun, silly-looking game called Dork Romantic. No, Dwarf Romantic. It's an F and not a K. Dwarf Romantic on Steam, and it looks like it's just making little cities out of tiles. I don't know, but it looks like silly fun.
All right, so I have some models here. Da, 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 da.
At least one. Nope, there's multiple.
And so I went and primed them. It's a what? A Grendel?
I had to look that one up just to let you know how deep they dug for that box. I had to look that one up.
And this one?
There's a delay. That is an adder or a puma, depending if you're a filthy clanner or an
Do
shear.
you want ants? Because that's how you get ants.
Adder.
20 months of shenanigans, the best waffle, best John,
if you're a
and
clanner, a
Gonzo.
filthy clanner or an shear.
Legionnaire has a brain trigger. If he sneezes really hard, he will smell bleach due to some work he was doing when he was a teenager. So my brother had a had an accident when he was working in food service. He was going to mop the floors in the kitchen, and he put in what he normally puts in to do that, but unbeknownst to him, someone had poured in something else, and those two things, they reacted like they do, and he ended up having to go to the hospital.
My buddy Jake, when he was or Josh, sorry, Jake's brother, when he was deployed in I think it was Iraq, might have been Afghanistan. They attacked his barracks, and he was near the cleaning supplies closet, which caught on fire, and he got a big dose of that. It was no bueno, and he can't handle the smell of bleach or any of that anymore.
Yeah.
Which one's this one, John?
That's an adder. Sorry, that's a gladiator or executioner, depending on Intersphere or Filthy Cleaner.
Is this an assault mech?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, assault mech. I'm going to air quote that. It is of the tonnage of an assault mech, but as it has a fucking enormous engine in it, it doesn't exactly have a ton of guns.
It's a purse fighting mech?
It's still a threat, but it is more fast for its size. And that is, of course, a Madcat or Timberwolf, depending.
Yeah, you always trade speed for smackiness. Don't you? I mean, usually if you're really fast, there's some other thing that you're lacking.
Well, the thing is, though, if it's fast enough in short bursts that it could catch smaller mechs that would have a hard time punching through the armor it has before it murdered them. It's that balance load. It's not good in a fight against other assaults or even some heavies, but it's of the general in the ballpark of the speed of a medium mech in a lot of cases, so it can catch some things. So
Captain Mizzy has subscribed for 20 months. 20 months of shenanigans with the best Wapple, the best John, and Gonzo. That's how she typed it. That's how I read it.
I figured.
Lord, what are you doing to me? What are you doing to me?
These are definitely. I'm gonna paint these up in clan colors. So this is gonna be a clanner mech, and
I mean, it is Clan McCloud. It's a clan mech.
Yeah.
Like plaid.
So I'm gonna flash a color up, and John, you tell me what clan you think this will go to.
Oh. As an Interspheroid, that's a dangerous game to play. That would be Jade Falcon, probably.
Yes.
Being that it's green.
Green. So let's talk about this, because I've never actually painted these type of models before. And you could go a whole weird route with this. I could just cover the whole thing in green and be done with it. Which then it would look kind of ugly and kind of weird. But these models actually have some really, really good detail.
Mm-hmm. They did a good job on them.
Yeah, these plastics are actually really solid.
If you did it in oils, you could
prime hydrate.
You could prime it off-white and then just straight up do phthalo green oil paint, brush it over it, just glop it on, let it sit for, 10-15 minutes, come back with a makeup sponge, wipe it all off, and all the details will come out and appear as if by magic.
Huh?
And done.
Yeah, there's a lot. Some people paint them in camouflage. Clanners aren't known for wanting camouflage. They're
are they like
supremely confident. Kathy, I'd have to show you. I'd have to explain history that it takes text from the Black Pants Legion, who I do suggest you look up if you're interested in Battletech. Just look up Black Pants
Legion.
Black Pants Legion. Tex does a bunch of Battletech videos. He did a whole thing on the history, so like the end of the Star League into the Exodus into the Clan Invasion, and it's exhaustive and hilarious and great. But yeah, to explain it, basically, their way of warfare, so they don't murder each other to death, is they try and beat each other with the least force possible. So if you're like, I'm bringing, 12 mechs, they're like, oh yeah, I can take you in 8. And they come down with 8 and see if they can whoop your ass. And that's how they try to be the best.
They think they're superior.
In some ways, they are superior to others, but they try and do that. It's if the attacking force is coming in, and they know what the defending force is, they will bid to see who thinks they can take it with the least amount, and then they'll go fight them. It's interesting. It is a long story as to how I got there. Basically, didn't want to murder themselves to death, and it does give them interesting weaknesses to take advantage of from a role-playing perspective. They disdain melee combat, which is why you don't see any clan mechs with giant hatchets. Unlike the Spear, I'll take a giant hatchet, please and thank you.
But you also see that they have the elementals that kind of do that job for them.
Yeah, well, that's their infantry. They have they've sort of combined arms it in rather than vehicles and aerospace fighters and mechs and regular ground pounders. They made battle armor, the elementals, and they don't use regular vehicles anymore. So it's just clans, or just mechs, aerospace fighters, and elementals.
Which I didn't prime those. I was like, I don't think I'm going to prime those real quick.
But they're super cool. Like, I love the models for them.
Oh yeah, they're really neat.
And technically speaking, all clan mechs have handholds so the elementals can ride into battle on them because the mechs are faster than the elementals.
Are you using metallic paint right now, or what are you?
So I decided what I'm going to do is I'm going to take I'm got the silver from Pro Acryl, and just going to be kind of slopping it on where I think there will be exposed metal look, and then I'll wash that down.
Let's do this.
That's what I'm going to do first. And then I can work on the color part of the mech.
Alright, there's my box of stuff. There are the elementals. Should be showing up in the camera somewhere.
And that's to scale. Those are tiny compared to the.
They may even be a little bigger than they should be here, but they're about that. They're
really?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just individual
infantry. Just basically like a really, really big dude. Oh, my camera's cut off here. That's why.
What are they, like Terminators or something? Kind
no,
of.
There are people in there, but they're like 6'9", 7 foot tall people. They've been genetically engineered and.
So like Space Marines.
Yeah, they're basically Space Marines, but not nearly as silly as Space Marines are when you start talking about them. But I love the way these models came out with the trails from the little jump packs, and it's just super cool.
Hi, Bithtron. They are humans in power armor, says Bithtron, and John says they are genetically modified. Bigger humans.
Let's see what I got here. Obviously, I got the same mechs that Gonzo has. Grendel, Adder, another Black Hawk. Is that 2 of those? No, because I think it's supposed to be a Stormcrow. Some of them are hard to tell. Obviously, that one's easy. Whatever this crappy mech is, that's terrible. Another one of these crappy mechs. God dang it, where do you get all these crappy mechs from? Elementals. This is a Mist Lynx, little tiny duder, 25 tons.
Legionnaires is asking, so Clanner have elementals and Inner Sphere have tanks and aerospace fighters, correct?
Well, they both have aerospace fighters. The difference between Inner Sphere is they'll use regular tanks still, and they still use standard dude with a gun or dude with a rocket launcher infantry. But there's something to be said with a guy with a gun just saying hippity hoppity, get off my property. I got a Fenris. I mean, obviously, I got a bit of the Invasion box set, another Mistlinks, and I think this is supposed to be a Stormcrow. Seems a little short for it, though.
A little short for a Stormcrow.
A little short. Yeah. And then a Shadowcat, which I'll point out, this is the first fan-made mech. It was in one of the first issues of Mech magazine. They sent it in, and it has since become canon, which is super cool.
I kind of feel like I want to just do a quick paint on a couple of these things. Just for kicks. I've never painted any mech kind of thing before, but it might be fun to do like I described with the oil paint, and just throw that on, and then throw a little bit of metallic into a few places. Might be fun.
Well, fair enough. Legionnaire, so technically the Shadowcat should really only be armed with 2 PPCs or generally more other stuff. It's got a lot of tonnage in not weapons because it's fast and jumpy. So, in any case, let's see what I got here. I'm going to have to identify a couple of these. Give me a second here. I'm pretty sure this is the brand new Stinger. So when Battletech came out, they based a lot of their stuff off of whatever mech art they could beg, borrow, and steal. So there's a lot of stuff from animes and stuff, and this was originally based off a Battloid form Battletech from Robotech/Macross. And then, so they call it the Unseen because for a while they had to get rid of them because of lawsuits. Now they're back because they've redesigned them to be just different enough. And then this is a Wasp, which is based off the same thing. They're both 20-tonners. Sort of very similar. The only difference was armament. The Wasp was more anti-armor, and the Stinger was more anti-infantry because it had machine guns. And this was sort of their own design, but they sort of used the head from one of them, so it looked very similar. This is a Valkyrie. Sort of one of the first mechs you read about in the first good trilogy of Battletech novels. And yeah, I'm calling out you guys for all the Grey Death Legion. They're okay. They ain't good. And this is a Phoenix Hawk. It was also based off a Valkyrie, but the Super Valkyrie with the extra fast pack on it, which I am now using lots of nerd terms. You're welcome. I would say that these 3 were always sort of classic designs because they were in the first box set. And then, speaking of classics, the packs I bought were specifically to get me the classics. I've got a Rifleman, which is based off the Raider X from Robotech. And then I also have, in tonnage, let's go with the Archer next, which is based off a Destroy Gladiator, also from Robotech. And then a Warhammer, which is based off an Excalibur from Robotech. One of the truly classic designs. It was on the first box set. And then a Marauder, which is based off an Offshoot Battle Pod from Robotech.
I like that one. It's got some character, extra character.
It's one of my favorites. But those 4 really are my favorites because they're the classics. And apparently I'm a classics kind of guy. So there's a lot there. I mean, in one podcast, I couldn't even give you guys the basic primer on it. The basic primer is, well, I can give you a basic primer. The whole idea is basically sci-fi Game of Thrones long before Game of Thrones.
I remember when I first played Battletech. I'm not sure if it was Mech Warrior or Battletech when we played it. But what we used to do is we would get together, me and a bunch of buddies in the Air Force, we'd get together and we're like, all right, whose campaign are we playing this weekend? And we decided the best way to solve that was, hey, let's play a game of Mech Warrior, and whoever wins, they get to choose what campaign we play for the weekend.
Was it a video game?
No. It was miniatures.
Oh, then it was Battletech.
Was it Battletech? Okay. I couldn't remember what it was.
Mech Warrior is the role-playing game. And the video game.
I just remember we had miniatures, and we used to do that all the time. And I remember one time my friend John, which is on my Gangs of Waterdeep RPG, He was like, because we designed our mechs, and it was all we could play whatever. We just kept within certain limits. We had a little limit of what you could and couldn't play. And I remember he was playing, and he was like, "All right, I got my mech out, and I'm gonna click the mask system, which the mask system lets them run really, really fast." So he was like this really light mech that ran really, really fast and just annoyed the shit out of everybody, and would just shoot everybody up and so on and so forth. Well, he ran around the entire battlefield a lot and did that, so he usually had to choose. But this one time, he decided to do it, and when you trigger your mask system, you have to roll on this chart. And if you roll like double ones or whatever, it's a complete fumble, and the entire model just sits there and is dead for the entire game. And that's what happened to him. So I was like, yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, there's a lot of systems like that. It is a very 80s game at points, the tabletop version.
Yeah.
They've done some upgrades, but unless they decide to do a big redesign, and they aren't really going to because it appeals to a lot of the classics guys. If you wanted to big redesign, play Alpha Strike, which is meant for larger scale games. Like inherently, I would say Battletech is only meant for, a handful of models. Skirmish level,
Mm-hmm.
At most, I would say maybe, God, I wouldn't even want to go that far, but maybe, a lance or two per side. So between 4 to 8 mechs per side. Anything more than that, it just starts to get clunky and very, very time consuming. And Alpha Strike is meant for much more there. It's a lot more streamlined, not as crunchy of a system.
I remember that, and it was very, very familiar that we thought he had his mech that we thought was gonna kick the crap out of us, and he charged on the field, turned on his mass system, and it shut down his entire mech. And that was it for him for the game. So we're like, okay, we know we're not playing what he wants to play.
I mean, I only would work a couple times. It wouldn't work too much with us. We were big on the, so I need like an 11 on 2 dice to hit you? I'll take those odds. It's like, boom. Yep, you dead. A lot of that.
So I chose the green because, well, green's a cool color. And I remember Jade from the game, because this was whenever we first started playing the role-playing game and stuff. He decided to have the clans invade because we were a mercenary unit. And this fucker was the first clan mech we fought. And it was just him. And it was just him against like 4 of us. And of course, he just ripped the shit out of us.
That's a little flubby. I mean, a Madcat is a pretty good mech, but 4 to 1 is going to get ass whooped. Unless you were like all in lights or some such shit.
I can't remember what we were, but I remember, I distinctly remember, I do take that back. There was some elementals in there at one point.
That's totally different than elementals are hot garbage. They're hot bullshit. Holy crap.
Yeah.
Because they're super duper tough to kill.
Yeah.
Just because of the amount of damage weapons do. Because they have 11 total hit points, 10 for their armor, and then 1 more to kill them. So there's a lot of weapons that do 10 or 5, and then you're like, oh, that fucker got 1 hit point left. Great. So. Jade Falcons. The worst of the clans. Those are some motherfuckers.
What makes them the worst of the clan?
They're assholes. Like, you want to say they're like the atypical clan, but they're not really, because they just, when you start reading the books, they really try to do some bullshit. They're almost conniving as much as a clan could be. Really, if you're talking standard, the Smoke Jaguars are sort of like, we're the standard clan, more or less. Like, yeah, kinda. The Ghost Bears are really the standard. You don't hear much about them because they're bog standards. And of course, the Clan Wolf is the quote unquote good guy clan.
Yeah. And that's what you usually see. If you see a clan, you usually see that symbol on there quite a bit, the wolf all the time.
Well, yeah, also, at that point, the wolf was a really popular symbol, and if you read the books, Wheel, they're the only clan worth rooting for. I root for Jade Falcons to get killed.
So,
like, even reading the Jade Falcon trilogy, I was like, you could just kill these fuckers. I'd be okay.
So, interesting part about all this is even though I'm painting this on, I'm just going to get this base green color. Like Kathy was saying, just get it and get it in, get a good base color, then I can just kind of get the details up. The clanners don't have camouflage like you were saying. They don't care if they stand out or not because they got balls of steel.
It is not in their tactical doctrine, no.
But the inner sphere.
Oh, yeah.
Because they get their butt whooped all the time.
Well, it's a technology thing. Like, sure, in the game it's much closer, and even more so in MechWarrior Online. But in fiction, the difference between the mechs is like, yeah, fiction-wise, yeah, that Timberwolf should have ripped right through your 4 mechs. Like, fuck all you guys. He's shooting you from ranges you can't even dream of hitting that and shit like that.
Yeah.
Now, game-wise, it's a lot harder to do that without it becoming a busted system.
Correct.
So, it's a lot. I mean, it's still, their stuff's still way better. But in some cases, almost like, and even that, I mean, it's a very 80s system. 80s, 90s system. It's a lot of stuff you're like, oh, what? Like, yeah, it was the 90s. We weren't exactly... It's pre-GW becoming a big deal.
Huh.
So, for those of you who want to keep track. So some of the rules are kind of weird and all. Banyan did mention, he's like, man, he's like, we should learn how to play that. I'm like, no. You should learn how to play it. I still remember. That is how much I know about the game, is I still remember how to play.
Well, the system is actually pretty simple.
It is relatively. I could still build 90% of a mech without a book. That's some shit right there. Like, I remember, like, a whole ton of shit about mech building and all that is just, like, do I need to? Probably not. But I do. So, I should also point out that Jade Falcons do generally use, like, a yellow color as a highlight, as a secondary color. So,
yeah, I'm gonna paint the whole thing green, and then go and then do the touch-ups within the yellows and all that stuff.
I was just mention it so you plan properly.
Yeah,
it's not like you have to be beholden to any official paint scheme.
No, don't have to. But it's what I wanted to do.
Clanners use camouflage, and your clanners use camouflage. That's fine.
Clan, fuck you.
Oh, what was that? Clan Coyote? I think it was Clan Coyote. Or Clan Widowmaker. I think that's later Clan. I lose track a bit. I mean, honestly, it's funny to say that when the clans came out, while I played for a bit afterwards, I was not as into the fiction afterwards, so I sort of moved on to other stuff. But there are a ton of books. It even goes way past that. I mean, heck, as far as like overall tech goes, the clans only, like, there are at least 2 big tech jumps afterwards. There's the FedCom Civil War, which would take a long time to explain. Actually, technically there's 3 jumps, because there's that, then there's the Jihad, and then after that there is the Dark Age. We don't talk much about the Dark Age because the Dark Age came out with the Battletech clicks and almost killed Battletech, so some of us have a problem with that.
I remember those models.
Yeah.
So, painting these up, Kathy. So I'm painting these up, and these are strictly living models. Is there any type of painting technique you think that is like a kind of a different way to do when you paint up, a fleshy living model compared to a robotic, metallic beast?
Probably.
Like, what would you think?
But since I haven't painted a robotic metallic beast before,
Oh,
Not certain what that is.
well, we're gonna
I
have
will
to.
find
Yeah.
out when I get a couple of these on my own desk and give it a try.
Oh,
Honestly, all I could think when I see all these tiny little panel details is if I do it the way that I did the jump pack when I was just first experimenting with my oil paints, and I just painted a whole jump pack with firstly it was primed a really light color, and then I took that phthalo green oil paint and slapped it over it, and then I let it sit there for like 10 minutes or so and kind of soak in, and then I took a makeup sponge and wiped off all the excess paint, and then on the edges I wiped it off even more so that it looked like more highlights, uh, and it brought out all those details, all those sort of mechanical kind of details that would be on a Space Marine jump pack, and left all of the dark color down in the crevices. And that's what I want to try doing on a couple of these and see what that looks like. But the way that you're painting it, I'm not sure, because I've never done something like that. Maybe panel line washes is all I can think for going down into the crevices, and then after letting that dry, I maybe doing dry brush over the top in a lighter color.
Yellow.
I don't know.
So my idea is I think it's going to take 2 coats of green just to get it, a good solid green on it because it's not. It's still got the black is kind of see through, which is okay, not a big deal. Um, and then after I get 2 layers of green on it, I do a wash to kind of go into that detail because there is a ton of crevices, grooves,
Consider
all that stuff.
doing it like you were painting on your Gundam.
Yeah. Because there is a ton of grooves and holes and all this stuff all through it. I mean, it's like ton.
Even just dry brushing green over the whole thing and letting that black primer stay in the crevices might have been an interesting approach to it too.
Could have gone that. Because there's definitely.
There really is a difference though between doing something, mechanical versus doing something organic. I'm used to painting skin and cloth and stuff like that, and doing Space Marines is always a little bit of a struggle for me with all the corners and edges and flat surfaces and everything.
sometime between next Friday and the Tuesday following, Kathy,
Is what?
you'll be able to look at some of the models on your desk.
Oh.
Which also,
Yay!
Tuesday to Friday, you'll probably see some of the other models come up to you because you're both getting a package from me.
Oh, awesome.
Yours will probably be there first. This looked like it was a little delayed. Sorry.
Yeah,
on
as
Prime.
Xander and Bithtron say, dry brush picks up lots of detail.
Yes.
I will be going back to oil painting this week, so when those things do arrive and I get them primed up, much like I did with my pumpkins, my pumpkin riders, back in October, I will immediately just throw some primer on those and set to with the oil paints in the way that I described, and we will see what happens.
Well, you get a couple to play with there, so.
So yeah, that'll be fun. Maybe I'll get my hands on a little bit of the metallic oils that Jim's been using too, because I don't have any metallic oils in front of me, but they exist. We can give them a try.
Cool. I look forward to seeing some of it.
Missy says, technically, the chibis are from me too. Yes. It'll be fun to paint those. We'll do paint-alongs. We'll all have our monster chibis, and we'll paint along together. And it'll be fun. And then when Yeji's on, we'll paint more chibis.
Oh,
The chippies.
that probably means you need to look into ordering flowers.
Flowers. Oh, 'cause
Mother's
Mom's
Day. Yeah.
Yep. That's a good plan, actually. Just do that. See, my mom lives like 400 some miles away, so I don't get to see her. But
My mom's only about an hour drive or so,
I
but
can send her flowers.
So, John, since you're playing MechWarrior Online and you're streaming it, and how does the game compare to like the role playing miniature, type thing?
well, so honestly, if you're familiar with the tabletop game, you will be familiar with the building mechs portion of it, which, as you know, is a complicated part.
Yes.
But as I said, since I can build most of a mech without even consulting a rule book, it's not that hard for me because I'm that kind of nerd. Otherwise, once you get beyond the building your mech portion, it's nothing like it.
So I'm gonna ask this question because I know it's coming up and everything. What is the difference between MechWarrior and BattleTech?
Well, technically speaking, and it also depends on the medium. MechWarrior is the term they use for their online games, where they're first-person shooters, and it's also the name they use for their role-playing game. Like, I have the most recent version of MechWarrior, the role-playing game. I bought that, I think shortly after the Clan Kickstarter. They're like, hey, you're subscribed to us. Here's a code for our website to get a discount on stuff. And I'm like, I could use some stuff. Who can't use stuff? So I bought their most recent role-playing game, which is probably here. Yeah, MechWarrior Destiny is their most recent version. I haven't given it a good read yet. It was middle of COVID, and I haven't had a lot of time and/or necessarily inclination to be reading role-playing games since I ain't playing them. But a basic flip through looked really cool. Legionnaires, that's a good question. No, you should not start with an engine when you're building a mech unless the engine is the point of the mech. So if MechWarrior Online's way, you should not start with an engine. You should start with a general idea of what weapons you want on the mech, fill the slots, then see what engine you can fit, and then see if that shit don't work. That's what the testing ground is for. If you fire all your weapons and there's no, ghost heat on them, and you shut down, you have designed poorly. Or you're going to have to make sure you really, really don't fire all those weapons at once. Which is hard when you panic, because everyone panics. Every once in a while, you walk around a corner, and there's like 8 mechs there, and you're like, well, fuck my life.
That's what happened to me today.
Yeah. Or you built the storm, yes. Or you yell out, face the storm, and you fire everything. That's Did I send you guys that video? I might have sent you guys that video, because even not knowing, you'd understand it. That's from The Beef, who is a streamer for MechWarrior Online from his back. This is like long, long ago. They've actually changed stuff multiple times based off what The Beef has done. The Beef is great because he has a very heavy French-Canadian accent, and he is so good for the game. He's trolly sometimes, but never vindictively or meanly trolly. He's just, I'm having fun trolly. So it's super cool. He built what they call the Dire Star, which is a dire wolf with like 11 PPCs. And if you understand that the PPC is one of the scariest weapons in the game, generally speaking, it is absolutely retarded to have 11 of them on a mech.
And did they all fire at once, or did he have them like set up to fire in?
The only time he would fire he would fire not all of them every once in a while just because he's taking a shot. Yeah, yeah. The beginning of the video is literally he sneaks up behind somebody. And he's like, "No, it's too easy. May I have your attention?" And fires like one in front of the guy. And the guy turns around and he just yells out, "Face the storm!" and just ends him. You only got about 2 shots, but it was super funny. It's a great video. I suggest looking it up. Just Google Dire Star, Direstar, Dire Star. The beef is super amusing. But yeah, so yeah, you should build around the weapons you want first. If you're having problems, ask for someone to help. There's a million Discord. You're on a Discord even now, Legionnaires. You can ask for help. Ninja and I are both mad scientists, so if you ask for help, please specify if you want a regular build or a mad science build, because we might just go fucking nuts with that. I've been known to build. I did build a mech with 6 ERPPCs on it, Gonzo, for one of my buddies in my unit, and he just wanted to have some available all the time. Was it great? No, but he's like, I fire 2, I fire 2, I fire 2, I fire 2 more. All right, I cool down a little bit. So you don't get a lot of extra effect, but you always have 2 ready to go, pretty much. And then at the end of one game, he literally yelled out into comms, "Face the storm," fired all 6, and killed the last guy before he could overheat and explode. And I'm like, well played. Well played.
I was going to say, if he fired all of them, it was like, oh, either shut down or...
You'll probably explode.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot of heat. Because, I mean, I don't want to get too much into the game, but the game has some arbitrary heat limits to keep shenanigans from happening. Not the fun shenanigans, the bad shenanigans. So certain weapons, you fire more than so many, the heat gets multiplicatively bad, basically. So the first 2 PPCs are whatever they are. The third one is hotter. And the fourth one is hotter. And the 5th one is hotter. And I think you got the theme as it goes there. There's a bunch of math involved. I don't like to look at the math of that. Just know you shouldn't do it.
But you also stream, so for people that don't know, for the people that are here, that you also stream, you're down doing it on Sunday mornings and Monday afternoons, or Monday nights, I should say.
Monday nights, yeah.
So if someone wanted to play with you, could they message you and say, hey, can I play with you?
Absolutely. I mean, we last Monday, we actually had Legionnaires on. It was me and Legionnaires and Ninja John. And then Banyan popped on. I think Big Knight was in there for a bit. He doesn't get on comms. He doesn't like the sound of his own voice out there, so. But he was there in the unit, and we were teaching Legionnaires how to play. We had a good time. There's one match in particular where we're super good because we were the only ones left alive. And that's always super fun.
And what is communication key?
Communication very much helps. Very much helps. You know that.
Yeah. The game I played today, nobody talked about anything. Nobody talked about nothing. And all of a sudden...
I always try to say hi to everyone when I come in. If I'm not in the unit, I sometimes forget if I'm in a unit. And on Discord, I try to say hi to everyone to try and get people to say something. Yeah, Big Night. Where we're going, we don't need heat management. Override engaged. A Big Night, actually, I'm going to give Big Night a shout out. He was playing earlier, and he sent me a picture. He played a game. I think we're on the same team that game, and in an Atlas, which is a giant mech, they don't get bigger. It's a stealth Atlas, which means that you can't get him on sensors, but you still see with the eyes. Well, apparently he's a true stealth, and no one saw him, and no one shot him, and he took 0 damage.
No one was looking with their eyes?
Yeah, I mean, it's silly. Like, I've seen a couple games where I've taken 0 damage, and I either had long-range missiles, or I didn't do that much. But no, he literally did almost 800, basically, functionally 800 damage, killed 3 people, 2 of them by himself, and no one shot him. That's crazy. Mind-bogglingly crazy. That's super cool. We have to get time if anyone's interested. I do a lot of stuff for newer players. Sunday mornings turn out to be a little more of the ask me questions type of thing as I'm going. I'll go into. I have no problem going deep into it and showing you whatever I need to. And then Monday nights we generally group up and get some people together and just have some good drops. We'll jump around and do whatever. Actually, really looking forward to it. They got a, and I'll mention that Gonzo for in case you decide you want to play again. They have a big, giant patch dropping on Tuesday.
Ooh, what's gonna happen?
Everything, like 90% of the weapons are getting updated based on. I forget what they call themselves anymore. There's a group of longtime. I don't want to say competitive players. They did play competitively, but they're all just veteran players. Had a bunch of ideas of this is how you make weapons unique. You fix it so this is not clearly better than this for the tonnage, blah, 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 blah. And they sent that in, and originally they were going to do a playtest server so you could test it out, but they decided after last patch where one of their designers just said, I'm going to do this because this is what it needs, and it was not what anyone wanted.
Huh.
They're going to roll that back, and they're literally just going to apply everything they said.
Wow.
They're taking their whole thing like, that's what you think? You know what? Fuck it. Let's do that.
Huh.
Let's skip the whole playtest. You know, you guys have been talking about it for a long, long time. They have
Bold move.
spreadsheets and, you know, slideshows and shit of all the stuff. I mean, they have a lot of plans. So they're like, let's try it. I mean, they've got a cute new community development guy who is Darren, who's great at communicating with people. Even more so because he used to be half of No Guts, No Galaxy, who is a big streamer for this, for MechWarrior Online. They're buds, so you get a lot of communication. And it was the first I've ever heard of a game that was an MMO game that was on basically maintenance mode, where they're not going to do anything new, you just play until it's no longer viable. And they're doing content. Also, new Madcat's coming out Tuesday. It's great. So I'm looking forward to that. Tuesday's gonna be a good day.
Hope for the future of the game, then.
Yeah, absolutely. I might stream Wednesday night after Kathy gets done, too, since that new patch will be there, and I'll have downloaded it and taken a look at stuff. We will see. I might just fool around there by myself. We'll see. I don't want to promise anything. I might not be able to deliver because work is also a little crazy go nuts.
What?
Yeah. The less said about that, the better.
But hey, 2-minute warning to our media section.
Dang
Oh,
it,
good.
is it really? Okay, I'm going to try to get this last bit of green on here. Get that last bit to color.
That last bit. It looks very green.
Yeah, I think what I'm going to do is
Kermit the Frog.
Well, Jade Falcon is, of course, Jade. And it's this bright, bright green. And I was like, oh, I see that color over there. So I went with it. I was like not even planning on being a Jade Clan model. I was just like, ooh, the green. I remember Jade Clan. So I was like, let's just use this green. Plus, you know me, I like really bright colors for models and such. I really like painting bright stuff. Which I got a lot of compliments on my gate, by the way. My Infernal gate. Posted it up and got a lot of good comments on the color scheme.
That turned out really nice. That bold contrast of that really bright color and the black.
Yeah, he's super green. Hey, sorry, Vanderwarlord. I've had a lot of liquids today.
Staying hydrated.
That's hydrated. That's what I'm doing.
Uh-huh.
Kind of cool looking green color.
Yeah, I'm just with that sort of color. I'm wondering what wash you would use. The Thraka would, if you used a wash, I think the Thraka would be to a different green tone.
You think maybe just wash it with null oil?
Well, what about your Tamiya wash? Your Tamiya oil wash?
I think it might be too thick. And it would distort the color. But I'm going to paint all of this green.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, green's the weird one because there's so many tones of it. It's the only one I generally am like, I don't know what I'm gonna wash this. With She-Hulk, I had to do.
Yeah.
I tried 3 different things. I tried the contrast paint, which is a little dark and probably would have been okay, but it would require a lot of work. And then I tried Thrack green, which is okay. And then I have a Vallejo green wash for armor vehicles and shit, and that worked a lot better. So.
Yeah, I'm not a person that does a lot of washes on models.
You know,
Well, this stuff is definitely screaming for a wash. I can tell you that.
I bet
with all the creases and everything.
Yeah.
Maybe a blue would work.
Yeah, you want it to be dark, and the green washes don't seem to be super dark. But remember, you can always mix washes too. Mix your green with something else that's darker. Like mix a little bit of red in with the green. And I know it sounds weird to say red, but red honestly can be a very dark color, especially when you're mixing it with green, or green with blue.
Mm-hmm.
Even mixing a wash with a contrast paint.
Oh yeah, absolutely. In fact, actually, probably the warp stone, which is the green I have, or warp lightning, maybe whatever it's called, with Thraka green, that mix a little more heavy on the Thraka than the contrast might do better. You're like, nope, don't do that silver part there. Yep,
it didn't look good.
Well, I think it might look good afterwards. And honestly, I like the base with a much darker than silver metallic, because it looks better to start, and you can decide. Then you've got the silver available for the highlight, which I find is important. Call me crazy, but I like to save the lightest colors for a highlight and not use them as the base.
Which is probably funny, if I do usually this, that's how Gonzo paints his metallic, starting with the darker color.
Yeah, Gonzo.
I think if I do this again and do the green, I'm gonna try to airbrush the green because it would take a whole lot easier.
Yeah, and then you could probably avoid getting it into the crevices.
Yeah.
A little bit more.
I may do that sometime this week on one of my little hobby days. Are we at media section time?
Oh yeah, we're 3 minutes past.
Oh, dang. All right, hold on.
I did give the 2-minute warning.
I did, I know.
It was about 5 minutes ago.
Camera move. La, 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 la. All right. Media section. Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, John, your camera's like really.
You can blame my camera?
It's not your
camera. I'm blaming those because it's Skype.
Yeah. Most likely Skype. But yeah, let me fix that. Da-da-da-da. Okay.
You gotta have the appropriate display in the background. Since I have my monkey and my giant lizard. What do I got? Optimus Primal. And then I got Grimlock. It's not quite their kind of lizard, but he's a T-Rex. Close enough. I see to get a swoop to tie to his back so he can fly. So,
all right.
Watched like 17 things?
18.
I thought I watched 3 things, but in fact I only watched 2 things. The third thing I didn't actually finish. So
I did catch up on my series that I've been watching, which is Falcon, Mighty Ducks, Winter Soldier. So I did catch up on them.
2 of those are the same series.
I finished a series on the Disney Plus.
Oh, what series did you finish?
It was The Secret of Sulphur Springs.
I saw that. I didn't know if I wanted to see that or not. I was trying to find something to watch, and I saw that. So go ahead and go with it.
I didn't know anything about it, and I really enjoyed it. I mean, it's a kids' show, and the main characters are kids. But I was interested enough that I watched all 11 episodes in like 2 days. And you know how I don't do that normally.
Did it give you a sort of Stranger Things vibe?
It did. You know what? It was like it was kind of like Stranger Things meets Dark, but also a bit more lighthearted.
Okay.
So yeah, I enjoyed it. There was mystery. There was uh, creepy. Um, it wasn't predictable. There was no CW vibe to it. The kids are middle
Kids.
school, I want to say.
Oh wow.
The two main kids, and then they have younger siblings, and it's all about this family that relocates from Chicago to this middle of nowhere Louisiana. To the dad purchased this old hotel that he used to go to when he was a kid, and then you find out why, and and there's just this low key creepy vibe going on, and everybody in the town thinks this place is haunted, uh, and then you find out why, and then other things happen, and the very last episode leaves you wanting the next season.
So it is like Stranger Things.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's got that feel of it. It's got that kids with bikes kind of feel, because those kids are really the ones that are doing the investigation and stuff of what's going on, and it was a lot of fun, and I give it 0 space herpes, and it's wholesome even. So, you know, it's just it's very Disney, but it's like Escape from Witch Mountain Disney.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Is that Escape to Witch Mountain? You know, that one from the 70s.
Not the one with the rock?
No.
No, the original,
I need
the
to watch
old
that,
school.
Actually. It's actually probably on Disney, so.
Escape to Witch Mountain?
All of them. How about that?
It is. The old one? It is.
I did watch something new, and I didn't even know about it until I say about it. I did know about it, just kind of passed through my head, and I didn't care for it. But news came out that the series got renewed for a third season, and everybody was flabbergasted that it came out, and that it got renewed for a third season. It was originally on Cinemax, went from Cinemax to HBO Max, and HBO Max renewed it for a third season. I knew nothing kind of really about the series, but I just thought it was interesting. It is a TV series that originally was scripted by Bruce Lee, with the premises of it. And I was like, all right, I got some time. I'm going to work on one of my Gundam models. And I started putting it on there. And holy fuck, I love this show. The show I'm talking about is Warrior.
Yeah, I've seen some clips on one of the YouTube channels I watch where they talk to stuntmen and all.
Yeah, it's what it is. It's based off of a script from Bruce Lee. And it's based in 1870 something. So right at the time in Los Angeles and Chinatown and the Tong gang wars. And it's a story about a guy that comes from China to rescue a woman. But when he goes to do it, he becomes part of one of the Tong hatchet men. And you can definitely tell that they pulled a lot from Bruce Lee type movies. The way it's filmed, the way it's acted. The characters are amazing. The people from China, the Americans, the Irish, everybody. All the characters have been really good. There's even the psycho killer.
Jessica
Do what?
Psycho killer.
That you even root for him. You're like, fuck yeah, I like this guy. This guy's fun. The martial arts is really good. It's not the high flying wire stuff like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon type stuff. You can tell there's a little bit of wire stuff, but not a lot. Very stylized, like a Bruce Lee movie. They do speak 2 different languages in it, but what's weird is the way they do it. Like they'll be speaking probably Cantonese, I think is what it is, and they'll like pan the camera around the person that's speaking, and then it blends into English. So you get this feeling of yes, they are still speaking their native tongue, but it's in English so we can understand and don't have to do subtitles. Um, the characters are really good. Everybody, you're like, yeah, I like this. I like this. It reminds me of old martial arts movies. These characters are really well done. The writing's done really well. Um, they do a lot of
You said doo-doo.
made up um, language in it, as in some of the slang is made up, like calling Chinese people onions. I was like, where'd that come from? And then like molasses, which is their thing for opium or drug. So there's like this, and they said that they did that just to make people go, what the fuck are they talking about?
Huh.
Where did they get this? Um, but it is the fight scenes are amazing. Um, the it can be pretty gory at times with the blood and the hatchets because they don't hold back. And the guns, it does kind of remind me. There's a couple of Western episodes where they're out on, doing some stuff, and it reminds me of old spaghetti Western kung fu movie type things.
That's
Yeah.
the time frame, kind of.
Yeah, I know that's. But, I mean,
War.
yeah, right then, and there was just some really good. You can tell they got some Quentin Tarantino vibes in this a little bit. But I'm enjoying the shit. I watched season 1. And it was great. I'm only like one episode into season 2.
How many episodes a season?
10.
Okay.
They're about 45 minutes long. It does have a decent amount of nudity because there is whorehouses and all this other stuff. But I mean, it's you're just kind of blow it off. It's part of the movie, part of the series. You can tell it was built around it. They do touch on some pretty touchy subjects. Like the racism, because there's some African Americans in there also, and Chinese and Irish and all this other stuff. And I mean, the first episode, speak American, right off the top. And you're just like, this guy's going to kick his ass. Please kick the shit out of this guy. You're just waiting. You're like, and the way the lines are delivered too, you're just like, yeah, you don't want to do that. Why? Because I'm going to fucking kill you. And, that's just how it goes. Kathy, I think you would really like this series.
It sounds interesting.
I think it fits right in your wheelhouse of that type of genre that you like and that type of thing. I'll probably send you my HBO Max account so you can kind of watch it and stuff because I think you would enjoy it a lot. I love the shit out of it. I'm giving it 0 space herpes right now. I'm glad they're getting renewed for season 3, even though I'm going through season 2. They said it's going to be like a year or so before season 3 comes out because they thought they were canceled. They thought they were done. So they're, getting everybody back and, rewriting and everything else going.
We'll get the band back together.
But I'm enjoying the shit out of it. I highly recommend if you have HBO Max, go watch it. Show these people that you want more because that's the reason why they got the new one because it's like the top 15 shows on HBO Max right now that people are watching right now, which is not bad for, a 2-season show. So I'm enjoying the shit out of it. Go watch it. John?
Well, I mean, since we'll probably end with the other ones and spoilers would be a thing, let's talk about Giant Monkey versus Atomic Lizard.
Oh. Okay. Here's my thing about this.
Oh, hold on. Let me get ready.
I like Giant Atomic Lizard and Giant Monkey fighting. I loved all the scenes with the kaiju. I thought it was a great fun. I thought it was what I was expecting. All the other stuff, I really didn't care for. But that's not why I came to watch this. It's not called Godzilla versus King Kong plus a smitten of humans. So it was there. I got it. But I was like, okay, keep on going. Yeah, I understand why you're doing the story. I understand why it's happening. Go away. Give me King Kong and Godzilla.
So, well, I'm not necessarily going to say you're wrong. I say that exact attitude is the reason we don't get more of these movies. There has to be connective tissue. Otherwise, it's just 15 minutes of fight on YouTube. It's not a movie at that point. And I think the biggest disservice they did was making this one movie. Mel, John, and I talked about this on Wednesday, and I think it should have been a Kong movie followed by Godzilla versus Kong. Because it is ostensibly more of a Kong movie than a Godzilla movie.
Yes, it is. Very much so.
And I think the Kong portion of it, you could have taken out some stuff, replaced with other fights. And I think it would have been a compelling movie. You would have been able to get more development out of the human characters. And that sort of thing is you don't get the development you need out of all the human characters because it's done in so short a time. The movie is under 2 hours. It's like an hour and 48. And then you've got, in addition to Kong and Godzilla and all the fights and everything, you've got 6 main human characters you actually need to worry about, not to mention the villains and a couple other people. So that's hard for any movie to do. I don't blame them for that. I actually feel like they got the broad strokes of it right, and I actually didn't hate the human characters. I thought they were at point a bit too one-dimensional, but that's all they had time for. They were characters sometimes. I liked seeing people from the other movies back. I wish they would have gotten more people back, but, it is what it is. But yeah, the Kong and Godzilla scenes were absolutely fucking amazing.
Yes.
Literally now, I'm not going to call it the best kaiju fight ever because Pacific Rim actually exists, and those fights are pretty fucking amazing, but it's in the ballpark. Like, Kong versus Godzilla at the end, and then anything in Pacific Rim are right up there, like, we're fighting it out for one. Super fun. You should definitely watch it if you like that stuff. Hopefully they get to make more, MonsterVerse movies. I do like where they went. I felt like it told a relatively complete story. I just wish they'd done it in 2 movies rather than 1.
Yeah, I could... Because, the part that I did not like the most was the kids. The kids I didn't care too.
I like that part.
I didn't care for them too much as everybody else. I don't know, it just didn't flow right with me. Did I enjoy it? Fuck yeah. Was it a perfect movie? Hell no. But were the fight scenes amazing? Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was a good fun popcorn flick, is the best way to put it, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Type thing.
Yeah, flawed, but still there. I did actually like the kid stuff. It gave you that sort of almost that Stranger Things vibe again.
Yeah.
That maybe because one of the actresses
in Stranger Things,
in both of them. But I felt like it fit her character based on everything she's been through since she was in the previous Godzilla movie, King of the Monsters.
Mm-hmm.
I like that connective tissue, and I feel like it's necessary for a movie. I find too many movies take that out, and what's left is a serviceable movie. It's not. You're doing a disservice to the fans that way. Because, at some point, it's about Kong versus Godzilla, but you're telling another story with it. So, in any case, I give it about 1 1.25 space herpes, 1.5, somewhere in that area.
I said I'm about a 1.5 out of 2. Was it good? Yes. Was it perfect? No. But was it 2 giant monsters fighting and having a good time fighting? Yes.
Yeah, you're gonna have a hard time finding better fights than that. Holy crap.
Yeah. Everybody knew it was going to come in the end and everything, so it wasn't like, a big shocker type thing. But
Yep.
it was good fun.
Yeah, it was super duper.
Kathy, what you got?
So, speaking of good fights, I watched Kung Fu Panda.
Yes, that means you skipped Quantum of Solace.
Oh no, I watched Quantum of Solace.
Oh.
There were good fights in that too.
I thought you said you watched 2 things.
I forgot about the Secret of Sulphur Springs until the very last second.
Oh, okay, no worries.
The other thing that I was in the middle of watching that I didn't finish was My Best Friend's Wedding, which is another oldie that I've never seen. So
Fair enough.
It
So
was
Kung Fu Panda.
the Kung Fu Panda, Xander. The first one.
Oh, the one I've seen.
The one. I know there are 2 other ones, and that will be a double feature probably on a later date. But yeah, so I watched Kung Fu Panda, and it's just right out of the gate, just bam, 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 action and stuff. I mean, it turned out to be a dream, but it was still super fun to watch. And then when he wakes up and he's just this, working in his dad's noodle shop, and just that was cool. Just this kid working in his dad's noodle shop, and of course his dad was the guy whose name I can never remember, who was in he's in Big Trouble in Little China, and he was the voice of Covetous Chen in Diablo.
James Hong.
Yeah. And he's the
David Lopan.
the dad. And I was like, yes. And yeah, so I love that. And the whole story, the way he gets chosen to be the, the chosen one. Of course, you have to have a chosen one, right?
You have to have a chosen one, yes.
Yeah. And I loved the turtle, the master. It's fucking amazing. And I love that this turtle, and it was making me think of in D&D a turtle monk that could, do Tai Chi things like that, or Qigong things like this crazy turtle was doing. Anyways, I thought the whole movie was adorable, and the action scenes were really cool, and the music was beautiful.
It's a really good movie. It's a great kid film that adults will enjoy too.
Absolutely. Obviously I'm giving that 0 space herpes.
Yeah, I don't think anyone argues with that.
So that was, it was really enjoyable as a Saturday afternoon movie.
Well, we got 2 we got to talk about, Gonzo, because we got to talk about Falcon and Winter Soldier to clear it up, and I think Kathy should talk about James Bond to keep the James Bond going.
Yeah.
Yeah. So today I did watch Quantum of Solace, and I liked it.
Yeah.
I remember seeing it in the theater. There are many parts I didn't remember, but I will attribute that to the fact that many parts of this movie just seemed like generic action movie sequences.
Yeah.
Instead of memorable James Bond things. And the villain in this one was just sort of your garden variety psychopath. He was like garden variety psychopath. Oh, a psychopath, whatever.
It's a much better generic action movie than it is a Bond movie.
Yeah. Nothing remarkable about this guy, but you realize, and what I realize as I'm watching it, is this is setting up the next movie.
Yes.
This is like the movie in between the Casino Royale and the next movie that follows. And for that, I liked it. But yeah, there was a lot of very generic sort of, it's okay, it's action, it's fun, it's a fun action movie.
Yeah.
But not a lot of the spirit of James Bond in it so much.
I almost feel like it's not really James Bond till the end of this one too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because this is like one of the few that picks up like right at the end of the one before.
Yeah, that was interesting how that happened. But again, it was like the origin story of James Bond. So maybe he's not going to be as James Bondy as previous ones, because he's still kind of being hammered into that mold.
He's still forming. He's not reached his final form.
Exactly, I can appreciate that. But they could have had a little bit of cheese in this one.
Yeah.
Instead of only cheesecake, because I love Daniel Craig.
Oh, I was going to say Cameron Arterton.
He's the only person who can wear khaki trousers and make it look sexy. I'm sorry, everybody who wears khaki trousers, they ain't sexy.
So Xander Warlord, you're not the only one who has issues with Spectre. So we'll get there though. That's 2 more away. She's still got Skyfall to go. So what do you think? What did you give Quantum of Solace?
I give it 1. because it is
Okay.
still an enjoyable action movie.
Fair enough. I'd probably go 1.5 to 2 just because it's not quite as good, but I haven't watched it as recently as you. I might change my opinion watching it again. That's
Judi
purely
Dench is still alive.
Yes. Judi Dench is still alive.
Radion. Judi Dench is still alive. I would have known if she, because I love her. I've seen her in a bunch of British stuff, and I love her as an actress.
Yeah, she's great. Dame Judi Dench. She's great in every movie I've seen her in except one.
And that was Quantum of Solace?
No, Cats. Fucking Cats.
Oh, God. Oh, God. I forgot. So many good actors in that. I don't know. I don't understand that.
Yes.
It's like they heard Cats was happening and they wanted to be involved, but they had no idea how it was going to be edited to be such shit.
Yeah, I feel like that's fair. That's fair. Oh, well. So
Oh yeah, Desmond Llewellyn did pass. The guy who played Q.
I think he passed before that, because I think he passed right as John Cleese took over. Like, he and John Cleese were in one movie together, then the next one was just John Cleese because was going to retire. I think he passed also.
He did have his goodbye sequence, though.
Yes, he did.
In that final movie he was in, so.
Which is good, because not every actor gets that, and it's good to have that.
Yeah.
Without computer and your twin brother jumping. Anyways, so Gonzo and I are going to talk about Falcon and Winter Soldier. If you're worried about spoilers, it may be a good time to tune out.
Please leave the podcast.
There's no way to talk this episode without spoilers. I'm sorry.
All right, everybody, good night. No, I'm not going to watch it. I don't care.
I mean, watch it eventually. It's good.
Let's just say this has been my favorite one so far.
Yeah, it's really good.
This one was super, super solid. Everybody in the show did really good. It honestly was the best acted to performance, I guess you could say. The characters felt real and genuine, and holy fuck, if you didn't watch the stinger at the end, I'm sorry. One of the best scenes and shows ever between those two characters. They finally got each other. They finally know what they're doing. They finally see where it's going, and you see character growth from both of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was really good. I enjoyed everything, especially Bucky and Falcon going together. It was great. Loved it. I mean, it all worked well. I was wondering how they were going to have John Walker's story go, and what happened last episode to this episode is a less dark way of what actually happened in the comics. A surprising thing to say, and I mean, even though they did Battlestar dirty, it is, it's how they're going to get to where they go. And it's going to be interesting to see where they go with that. There's a lot of speculation on, was that Julia Louis-Dreyfus's character?
Which was a surprise coming through there. I thought that was interesting.
Yep, and so it's hard to tell where she's going to go, because the character she's playing has done multiple things. So it's out there. And they may not even know where they're going with it. They may be leaving it open to see what they want. But it'll be interesting to see. I still love Wyatt Russell as John Walker. People, I don't know how people are hating him, but he's playing that character perfectly.
Yes.
The right combination of everything to show that character being unhinged a bit. And I am waiting, since the next one's the finale, the season finale. I'm waiting for that. It's going to be some ass whooping in that one, though.
Yeah, they're which they said is going to be longer than an hour, I believe, is what they're going to be saying.
Yeah, I thought it was this one originally, but I was like, this one was normal time, so it might be the next one.
Yeah, because there was definitely the stinger when Bucky says, "Hey, I need a favor from the Wakandans." You know what it is. You got it coming up, and he opens up that case, and you're just waiting to see it, and then his look in his face, and you're just like, "Yeah, it's the suit."
Oh, no, it's Marcellus Wallace's soul. I've seen a case opening. That's what it is.
But I can't wait.
Good, Sam? Yeah, we good. Sorry. I'm now picturing Bucky and Sam Wilson in Pulp Fiction.
I can't wait to see the next episode. I'm like, I think I may stay up late Thursday just to see it.
I wish I could. I can't. I work early on Friday mornings.
Because it's gonna
I'll get it when
be
I make it.
it's gonna be one of those episodes.
And Twitch is a spoiler for me because I can't check Twitter at on my phone at work, so I'll just I'd have to do it on lunch break, and I don't take much of a lunch break, so
yeah. So I mean, I'm really looking forward to it. I can't wait. It's gonna be sad because we've got nothing after this.
Loki,
But
Loki's
it's not. But not until what, June?
We'll be okay. There's plenty of other series. I can catch up on other stuff. Jesus.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, it's been pretty quickly that the new Marvel stuff has kind of gone right behind each other pretty quickly. So it was just like, oh dang it.
Yep.
I mean, I have Babylon 5 to catch up on. So yeah, I have plenty of time to get.
Yeah, Danny and I are gonna watch season 3 of Discovery too. So we'll have plenty of stuff to watch. And I still gotta watch the latest season of The Expanse. So I'm good.
I still got that too to watch.
I still haven't seen that either yet.
I haven't watched all of it. I don't think I watched like 1 or 2 episodes so far. But I'm really liking the chemistry between these two characters.
Yeah, it's great.
It starts off rough, and then you're building and building, and this one just culminates. And
I like how it starts off rough, but as you see the end, it's on purpose.
Yes, yeah. Because this ending one is gonna be it should blow out of the water, and I'm sure there's gonna be multiple stingers behind it at the end. So I can't wait for it. I'm ready for it.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Glad they're putting out such high quality stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously Zero.
Yeah, this one's definitely a 0, way higher than WandaVision. This series blows WandaVision away, in my opinion.
I would agree also.
So, all right. Guys, that is the podcast for today. We greatly appreciate you coming out. We appreciate you listening on anything and everywhere we put this out. We appreciate you watching us. Don't forget, John will be streaming some MechWarrior Online with possibly people playing with him on Monday. Kathy, Tuesday through Thursday, will be doing her painting stream. And on Friday, she'll be reading her book again. Don't forget to spend all your channel points on all the challenges, because John needs to drink water for one podcast. Definitely. And Kathy will be reading a chapter from Mountain of Madness.
At the Mountains of Madness by H.P. Lovecraft.
Get that going. Thank you, John Ninja. Do not donate to the Gonzo Challenge. That's a big no-no. But guys, we really, really appreciate you coming. It means a lot to us in all forms. Let's see, who can we send y'all to?
Well, I wonder who we could send them to.
The Pyro Club.
Yeah.
Guys, we're going to raid the Pyro Club. Raid them. Give them a good shout out. Spend all your little emotes to make them kind of happy. And let's go that way. For More Than Dice, I'm Gonzo.
Stick around. They're doing they're playing an RPG. They're an entertaining group of folks.
Yep.
I'm John.
I'm Gonzo.
And I'm still Kathy.
All right, guys, go check them out. Make sure you hit some likes on them.
Yep.